the chin just slightly down toward the chest. You can take a deep inhale through the lungs, fill them all the way up, down into the hips. And when you exhale, slow everything down. Take another deep inhale through the nose. Exhale that breath, if you need it, out the mouth. And we'll start our flow with 3 sun salutations, A. And I'll go ahead and cue us through the first one, starting to take away some of those cues. As you inhale, look up toward those hands, exhale, fold. On your breath, inhale, halfway lift, and then exhale, you may step or fly back into a Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale to the back bend of your choice, Sphinx, Cobra, or Up Dog. Exhale to Down Dog. Take your 5 breaths. After your 5th breath, step or fly to the top of the mat. Inhale, find your halfway lift as you do. Exhale, fold. And inhale, palms press, hands reach up high overhead. So good. Now, if you know your sun A's, go ahead and move at your pace with the length of your breath. Go ahead, reach up on your inhale. As you're ready, exhale, fold. Find your belly down vinyasa, again at your pace, using your breath count. Sphinx, Cobra, or Up Dog. For your back bend, 5 breaths in your Down Dog. And again, at your pace, come to the top of the mat. That's 2 sun salutations. Last one, try to just zone into your breath. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold. So good. So on your next breath, go ahead and bend the knees. Bring the hands up high overhead for Utkatasana, fierce pose. Pulling those shoulders in, back, and down along the spine. Even as you drop those hips, we're warming up the body, letting those glutes engage so that hamstrings can open. One more breath here. Bringing those hands to heart center. If you would like, step the right foot back to the back of the mat. Open hands for Virabhadrasana Warrior 2. Deep bend to that left knee. One breath here. Inhale, straighten the left knee, point those toes to the edge of your mat. Open the right foot up high toward the sky. Rudrasana, archer, facing the back of your mat. You got it, good. Deep bend in that left knee if you have it. On an exhale, drop the right foot, point the left toes to the top of your mat. Inhale, hands reach up high. Warrior one, good. On an exhale, hands come to heart center. Bring those hands down either side of the left foot. Reach the right heel to the back of your mat, grounded warrior. And then from here, part of this flow will be to step or fly back. So if you would like, put those hands down on the mat. Maybe both feet reach as you jump back into your Chaturanga Dandasana. Find your belly down vinyasa from there. Good. From your down dog, step or fly to the top of the mat. Keep those knees bent. Inhale, reach those hands up high overhead. Utkatasana, good. Switching sides. Hands come to heart center. Step the left heel to the back of the mat. Open those hands. Warrior two. One breath here. Inhale, straighten that right leg. Point the toes to the corner of your mat. Left heel spins up high. Archer Rudrasana. On an exhale, drop those left toes. Spin the right toes to the front of your mat. Inhale, hands reach up. Grounded warrior, warrior one. Exhale, bring those hands through heart center. Down to the ground, find your grounded warrior. And then once you arrive, hands come down, and if you would like, you can do that jump, pushing into the hands, coming back into your Chaturanga Dandasana. Find your belly down vinyasa. Good. Always a chance to let the breath catch up in your down dog. We'll repeat that one more time. So step or fly to the top of the mat. Find your Utkatasana, fierce pose. Good. Bend those knees, reach the hands up high overhead. Utkatasana. Let the heat rise. Good. When you're ready, hands to heart center. Step the left foot to the back of the mat. Cartwheel those hands open. Good. Warrior two. Turning to face the back of the mat. Rudrasana, archer. Right knee is bent. There you go, good. Now turn to face the back of your mat, great. And then when you're ready, turn to face the front of your mat, warrior one. And your breath, grounded warrior. Hands down to other side of the right foot. Again, step or fly back into your Chaturanga Dandasana. Belly down vinyasa, good. Pause in your down dog as long as you need. You know where we're going from here. We're taking Utkatasana, fierce pose, coming up to the top of your mat. And I've lost your video for our participants on the live feed, so I can't see you. I'll pause just a second if you want to adjust your video. So from Utkatasana, we're going to bring hands, there you are, hands to heart center. This time, stepping that right foot to the back of the mat, cartwheel the hands open, warrior two. Good. And I'll do it from the side angle. Warrior two, straighten that left leg, point the toes to the corner of your mat, open to face the back of your mat, archer. Drop those right toes on your exhale, turn to face the front of your mat, warrior one. And then as you're ready, exhale, find your grounded warrior. Reaching those hands down to either side. Facing your front of your mat, there you go. Either side of that front foot. Lift that back heel to the back of the mat, and then jump or fly back through your Chaturanga Dandasana. Sphinx, Cobra, or Up Dog, totally your choice. Exhale, arrive at Down Dog. So good. On your next inhale, shift forward into high plank. Just come forward into your high plank. Hold. As you hold your high plank, make sure you are pushing so far forward. This is going to be the same sensation in the shoulders as your headstand. So we're working strength into those shoulders. Push so far forward that you feel like your face will come over the top of the mat. Puff up in between the shoulders as you hold your high plank. And then when you are ready, take a right side down vinyasa. So shift onto the right hand, outside blade of the right foot. Exhale, lower that hip. Inhale, lift up. On an exhale, bring both hands down. Take the right knee to the back of the right armpit. Step back through your high plank, and then switch sides. Left side, down vinyasa. Weight on the left hand, outside blade of the left foot. Exhale, sink. Inhale, lift the hips. Exhale into your high plank. Bring the left knee to the back of that left armpit. Step back into your high plank. Exhale, down dog. Good, take a break. Let the breath come back. One more time. Inhale, shift forward into your high plank. You can always switch sides if you'd like. Left side, down vinyasa. Good. Take your time. Come into your high plank. Take that left knee to the back of the left armpit through a cheetah modification. And then switch sides. Right side, down vinyasa. Right knee to the back of that right armpit as you come back through your high plank. Again, take your time. Move with your breath. That'll help with the flow. Always meeting in down dog when you're ready. Nice. We're still working that shoulder strength even in your down dog. So as you hold your down dog, make sure you're pulling those shoulder blades in, back, and down along the spine, even as you press those hips back to the back of your mat. Take 2 more breaths in your down dog. On your next inhale, I want you to practice jumping forward to the back, to the top of your mat with those shoulders engaged. So take your time to come back into your down dog shape. Start to bend those elbows, come up high onto the toe pads. Feel like you're in a little bit of a crouching posture. So booty will come a little bit lower. And then as you jump forward, really feel into those shoulders. Your shoulders are your brakes. Good. Inhale, halfway lift. Long, long spine. Exhale, forward fold. Hold your forward fold. Couple breaths. Let that spine get long. And then as you are ready, find that halfway lift once more. Reach the right heel to the back of the mat. You can take balanced, grounded warrior, or keep those hands down. Totally your choice. Once you find your balance, very nice. We're going to bring those hands down as you cross the right ankle behind the left. Outside blades of the feet will touch as you fold for a sciatic stretch at the top of your mat. Outside blades of your feet touch. Once you have that shape, right ankle cross behind the left, go ahead and find a place where you can place hands all the way down on the mat. Start to bend the knees out wide. Knees might come to the back of the armpits for a cross-legged crow. So this time the left heel will lift up the right. Hold for a breath. And then exhale, reach those feet down. Unwind the feet. Find your inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. As you're ready, we'll switch sides. Right foot is down, left heel reaches to the back of the mat. Maybe you take a balanced, grounded warrior. Again, totally your choice. Once you find security in your balance, hands come down, exhale, left ankle comes back behind the right. Outside blades of the feet will touch as you fold for a sciatic stretch. Good. One breath there. And then when you're ready, find space to put those hands down on the mat. It might mean bending knees out wide so that knees can rest to the back of the armpits. This time the right foot will help lift the left foot, cross-legged crow. When you're ready, release, unwind those feet, forward fold at the top of your mat. You're doing super awesome. Let the breath come back easy. Even in this forward fold, you're pulling those shoulder blades away from those ears, engaging that shoulder girdle, those brakes we used to jump forward to the top of the mat. Even here, we can build strength in those shoulders through the right engagement. On a next inhale, find your halfway lift. Hands come all the way down to the mat. Step or fly back for your belly down vinyasa. As you come into your down dog, lift that left heel high, 3 points toward the ceiling. Step the left foot toward those hands as you bring the right toes a little bit closer to meet the left. Triangular shape of the legs. With that triangular shape of the legs, hands are down, maybe either side of the left foot. Fold for intense leg stretch over that left leg. You got it. You can shorten your stance if at any point that wider stance is pulling on the low spine or you're not able to breathe or find balance. We're going to hold this posture for 2 more breaths. Breathe all up and down that left leg. Keeping those triangular shape of the legs. Maybe you want to bring heels in line with one another as you drop the left hand down to the inside of the left foot for triangle, Trikonasana. Maybe that left hand, if it doesn't come down to the ground, rest on the top of the foot or the shin so you can open heart toward the right edge of your mat. Triangle. Good. Really use that left hand down to help pull the spine long. So weight is all the way into those feet. Super, super strong. Reach the crown of your head, just like we did in that high plank, way, way far forward. After your second breath, exhale, turn toward that left leg and revolve, Parivrtta Trikonasana. So right hand will come down to the inside of the left foot. It can certainly be on a block. Good, or a stack of books if you need. Open that heart. Keep those feet grounded so the spine is safe through one more inhale. As you exhale, turn toward that left leg. Bring the right knee down to the mat. Left toes will point up high toward the top of your mat for a half split. If it is uncomfortable to be still and just breathe in this posture, you can always inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold and point the toes. Couple rounds to work into the back side of that leg. Take 2 more breaths, all up and down that left leg. And then as you're ready, sit back to the inside of the right calf flesh. So your right knee will be bent as you're sitting back on the inside of that right leg. Left toes are forward. And you have choices from here. If this does not feel good on the knees, you can always sit on the mat rolled up underneath the hip or a block to keep some cushion there, or use a towel to put into that space to keep a little bit of a gap. From here, you can either keep inner thighs rotated in and just breathe if you feel that into the hips. You may also fold toward the left toes or lie back, souped or recline. Hips are different shapes. So choose what works its way best into the outside of the hips for you. Take another deep round of breath. On an inhale, shift forward, into that left foot like a low lunge shape. Heel toe walk the left foot to the right edge of your mat. Sit on the left hip. So this is pigeon, Kapotasana. Your left shin bone will be parallel to the front of your mat. You can bring that right leg forward. That is perfectly okay. Choose the depth that feels good to you. You can simply sit on that left hip and breathe, or you may fold. As you come into your pigeon, if a twist is calling to you, feel free to move with the cues of the body, continuing to breathe into the left hip. One more deep breath. You'll come out of your pigeon the same way you came in. Put weight into the outside blade of the left foot. Heel toe, walk it back into that low lunge shape. Hands come either side of the left foot, maybe just a little bit forward. Tuck up high in the back, right toes. Push your weight way forward into those hands. Make sure the shoulder girdle is engaged. Pull the left knee into the chest through a cheetah curl. Maybe exhale, take a cheetah curl push-up. Good. And then step left toes back to meet the right. Find a belly down vinyasa. Take your time. We'll meet in down dog. This time, that right heel will reach up high, 3 points toward the ceiling, until you step the right foot all the way up toward the right hand to find that intense leg stretch on the opposite side. So toes can point all forward, but there's a triangular shape of the legs. Make sure as you fold over that right leg, you have weight firmly in both feet, so you do not pull on the low spine. Always adjust the stance as needed. Two more breaths. Entire length of that right leg. And then find, in your time, triangle pose. You might put heels in line with one another if it feels good to open up those hips that way. Right hand will come down toward the right foot, maybe all the way on the ground, maybe on the top of the foot or the shin as you open the heart toward the left side of your mat. Good. One more deep inhale. And exhale turns you toward that right leg to revolve your triangle, Parivrtta. Left hand comes down to the inside or outside of the right foot, opening heart toward the right edge of your mat. Very nice. As you exhale to turn toward that right foot, one more time, drop left knee down to the mat to find your half splits. Right toes are pointed forward. And again, you can breathe with a flow. Inhale, lift. Exhale, point that toe. If you need some movement to make its way into those tight muscles at the back of the leg. On your next breath, go ahead and find a halfway lift so you can sit back to the inside of that left calf flesh. And again, choosing the posture that was best for you, either folding toward the right toes or reclining back. So Virasana or Triamukha Paschimottanasana. So reaching or laying back. So good. Take another deep inhale, deep exhale. And then an inhale finds you shifted forward into that right foot through a low lunge. So you can walk the right foot to the left edge of your mat. Kapotasana, pigeon. Same as we did on the other side. Right hip is all the way down on the ground so you can enjoy the stability of deep breath into the right hip. You may twist, you may adjust those legs as necessary. Couple more breaths. I've lost the video for our live participants again. So when you are ready, find your way back into that low lunge shape, the right leg forward. And when you have that right leg forward, so go ahead and find that right leg forward in your low lunge shape. Hands are going to come down, maybe just slightly in front of those right toes. Tuck up high on the back left toes, so you're really putting weight forward into those shoulders. Pull that right knee into the chest. Maybe take a cheetah curl push-up, and then step right toes back to meet the left. Take your belly down vinyasa. Pause in your down dog as long as it's needed. We're going to practice that strength into the shoulder girdle again. So start to come forward, knees slightly bent, elbows slightly bent, like you're doing a crouch. We're going to jump the feet to the outside of those hands. Good. You may point toes out at a 45-degree angle, bend the knees. You're crouching, and we'll take a small little flow here. Inhale, reach those hands up. Exhale, drop into those hips. Push the breath out. A couple more times at your pace. When you're ready, hold at the bottom. Hands are going to grab the ankles. Use the elbows to push the knees out. Press the knees into the elbows. Find a straight spine like you're going to drop the belly down to the ground. Hips are a little bit high, so you have a straight, flat spine instead of dropping. Good. And from here, that's perfect. Drop those hips just a little bit more. Very nice, very nice. From here, you have choices. If you're practicing crow, you can certainly transition into Bakasana. If you would like a different variation, hands come to the outside of the ankles. Sit those hips on the shoulders and maybe find a Bhuja Padasana. So I'll do that one more time. You can take yourself off mute if you want.
Can you do it again? I'm sorry. I had to turn my phone and I couldn't see you.
Yeah, no worries. So you're going to drop your hips low, just like we were doing in the last posture. Take the webbing of the thumb and forefinger behind the ankles. And then you squeeze the knees into the shoulders, lift the feet, and maybe you cross the ankles. Bhuja Padasana. One or two more breaths to play around with that posture. You squeeze those knees into the shoulders. You're going to get that same engagement as you would in a headstand. It's going to be that connection from hips into the shoulders. Very good. And then as you're ready, go ahead and release. Unwind the hands so you can take a forward fold at the top of your mat. As you fold, let everything go. Let the neck be long, spine long. If you want to take a bind, maybe 2 peace fingers of the hands to the toes as you fold, or the palms underneath the feet as you fold. Let everything go. One more deep, long inhale. And exhale here. Then on your next inhale, halfway lift. And we'll find that little step or jump back into your high plank. Lower down to the belly. Count of 5. Hover if you need. 3, 4. 3, 2, 1. All the way down to the belly. Good. As you come onto the belly, cross right arm underneath the chest. Left hand relaxes down at the side. Breathe into that right shoulder. And as you breathe into that right shoulder, continue to press the hip creases down to the ground. Maybe you can also get a little bit of release of the low back. Taking 2 more breaths in your shoulder stretch. On an inhale, after your second breath, lift up and simply switch sides. Breathe all the way into that left shoulder. One more breath. And then unwind that left arm. Find those hands on either side of the ribs. Pull the elbows back toward the spine, like you can almost touch those elbows together at the back. Tuck the toes, push up through high plank, and then exhale your way to down dog. As you come into your down dog, drop the knees down to the mat. And you have choices from here. If you would like to, you can cross the ankles and come onto the back and practice your push-ups into wheel. Another variation that's the same and might help you explore different shapes of the body would be to do camel, Ustrasana. So your knees are on the ground, the shin bones are flat. You can reach the hands back for the ankles and push the hips forward. Notice it's the same shape as a wheel. You're just grounded. And you can maybe find the depth in the shoulders in a little bit different way. You can also start to build strength into the front of the hips by doing camel dips. But again, if you'd like to practice those wheels, totally up to you. Find 10 breaths in your back bend.
Okay, I'll try it with the hands.
10 breaths, back bend of your choice. If you're taking that camel, really undo all the sitting, all the compression of the front line of the hips from running and walking. Open the psoas, push those hips forward. Count of breath is again on you, 10 at least. When you're finished and you come up out of your camel, go ahead and cross those ankles. Pull the feet forward to the top of the mat, forward fold. Undo the spine. So we just bent the spine. This time we're going to make that spine long as you reach those hands on either side of the shins or down toward the feet. Let everything go. Take one more deep breath in your forward fold. After you're finished, go ahead and take any easy seated posture in the middle of your mat. We're going to do a little bit of a quick visualization before we conclude into our inversion and then find our way into Shavasana. So as you sit, you may choose. You can count breaths. Take inhale to the count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale slow, count of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if you want, as we breathe, if you can add that layer on, just imagine that stability. If there's a heavy ball or a weighted ball in the lower part of the abdomen that you can use to help you into your inversion. Shifting it maybe forward and back, understanding the weight of it in those hips as you breathe. Concluding as you're ready. And again, if you would like to find that inversion, we can work toward that, or you may recline now into your Shavasana.